Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Forget all the stealthy ninja stuff. This game is entirely about knocking around paper lanterns now. That's the game. So, hi, I'm Dan, and I'm working on a thing. I'm making a thing. It's this game, Ninja Jim. I've been working on it for a few years. I've been showing the process for the last few months in what I've been calling a Let's Play series, where I'm Let's Playing making a game instead of playing a game. So, what have we been working on? The last few episodes, we've been working on this area that I'm calling the South Tower. It was not very decorated before, but now it is, with lights and cherry blossoms and pedestrians walking around and promotional material and signs. It feels like a proper city street now, which I'm happy about. But that's not the important thing we're working on. There's actually a couple of important things we're working on. I'm going to talk about them. So, this other area right here, you might recognize this dungeon. This is the dungeon we've been working on. Now, I've mentioned it a few times that Ninja Jim is an open world game. And I want to really take advantage of that with Ninja Jim. I want the dungeons to be integrated into the open world. So I've run through this dungeon a couple times before, but I want you to pay attention to that little yellow area right there while I run outside real quick. I'm going to run over here to a different area. I'm going to keep talking so I don't have dead air time. No dead air time. La la la. Okay, so there's a different pedestrian area or citizen area. There's no civilians there. There should be. That's a glitch I'm going to fix later. Don't worry about it. But I come in through this way, and you may notice this is this area. So what I'm doing is I'm making it so the dungeons have multiple entrances. Like you'll have the big entrance that's obviously the entrance to the dungeon, but there'll be also other entrances from different areas. Um, maybe windows on the outside, maybe homes like this one is. We have this area over here as well. Again, there's no civilians and should be. I'll fix that later. Now we're down in a different area, which is a little bit below. See, that's that up there. That's the entrance that we initially went in. So, this is my first dungeon that I've made in the game. I'm just kind of experimenting with this kind of integration into the open world. In my next dungeon, that'll be like a proper dungeon because it's just kind of a early past the tutorial dungeon, optional dungeon. Where's proper dungeon? It's going to actually have several entrances. I have a few ideas for what that's going to be. I don't know if I mentioned this. This area is based on the Gion district of Kyoto, but obviously different because it's all vertical. There's a couple of actual landmarks I'm planning on basing that dungeon off of. We'll worry about that when we get there. But right now, the dungeon is integrated into the open world, which I'm happy about. There's another thing some of you may have noticed, some of you may not have, as I've been running around. The lanterns have physics now. You can run into them, and they knock around. I like that bunches. Um, it makes running around the world feel better. And I want to talk about how I did this real quick. So, in most games, when you have gravity, you have a code something like this, where you have a vertical speed and it gets the gravity speed added to it. The way to think that is if you have a negative speed going up, you have the gravity slowly getting added to it, so you slow down and eventually start falling until you hit the ground. There are some nuances to that, like terminal velocity, how you want to calculate that. If you want to have something more interesting, the parabolic arch, you can do something like that. But this right here, this is your standard gravity sort of code. But the lanterns, they don't fall; they kind of tilt and wobble. Like this is Game Maker Studio 1, not even Game Maker Studio 2. I don't really have a physics engineer to play around with. but I'm doing basically the same sort of thing. And this right here is the extent of the code I'm using. Whereas instead of like a vertical speed, I have this which I'm calling momentum. I have a swing gravity. And the way this works is this code here is when the ninja hits the light, it sets the light to this speed. Because it, like, the gravity changes directions as it turns, basically once the angle passes 0, which is straight standing up, the gravity switches directions, and then we have what I showed before. This is changing the angle that's viewed at, or the angle that thing's tilted at, which in gravity would be changing the vertical location. And then I have this, which basically just stops it when it's going too slow. Yeah, because if the speed's just slowly getting slowed down, well, I think I missed a thing. This, air resistance, which is this right here, which is a little bit of randomization to it, where you want the swing to slowly slow down so that it eventually rests, and I have it rest when the speed gets slow enough. It hits the cutoff speed. So that results in just this nice, simple lights knock around when you hit them. I also made it so if you jump on the line here, it knocks all lights. This is kind of what motivated me to do this. Is it makes it look like there's an impact when you hit the line, and because there's a little bit of randomization to the whole process, you know, the lights desynchronize from each other and all wobble. I like this, and the reason I like this is it makes running around the world a bit more fun. Like, you know, the problem with a lot of open world games is they can come off as just inefficient level selects. And I want the open world in Ninja Jim to feel like a fun place to run around on its own. And part of that is integrating the dungeons into the open world as best I can. The large part of that is just making the open world fun to run around. That involves me making it pretty like it did, having fun parkour mechanics, but just like, it's just fun to knock the lights as you're running around. It's just a little, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's satisfying. It's a satisfying thing to do, to see them knock as you're running by them. I like it. Okay, so this episode is a little shorter than I would have liked. I should have recorded while programming the lights, but like the logistics for that did not work out. I'm still trying to figure out how to make these episodes without it interfering too much with the actual process of making the game, because my goal is always, first and foremost, to work on the game. And if I have a few moments to work on the game and not record, I'm going to choose working on the game. It's kind of what happened with the lights. Maybe I should be more deliberate about making time to record while working. But these last 2 weeks, that didn't work out, which is fine. I don't think this episode was bad. I'm talking too quickly and not explaining the details as much as I like. Because I do want this to feel more like a Let's Play and not a devlog. Like, I put devlog in the tags so that people will click on the video, but a devlog isn't really what I'm going for here. Anyway, like I say always, how about you comment down in the comments? Tell me what you like about the video. What do you think about Ninja Jim? How you think the game's coming? Tell me what you think of the videos. I'm trying to improve these videos. They're still very, very much a prototype. I don't know of anyone really making videos like this. I'm sure there are like dozens of people making videos like this, and I don't know about them. It's fine. But yeah, all the call to action stuff. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. We'll see what we do next time. I will make sure to record while I'm doing it instead of blabbing about stuff after the fact. And yeah, I will see you next time. You have a fantastic week. How about that?